Hello, and welcome back. You want to talk about books? Let's talk about some books. Today, we are going to go over my fall reads. The time has come to do another deep dive into the books that I read during the fall months. And I know you're thinking, Lauren, this is being recorded in the middle of November. You are correct. So there will be a little bit of November rollover into December and the winter wrap up. But I've already fully transitioned into winter books, so we might as well go through the fall reads. Makes sense in my brain, right? So grab a little bevy, grab a little snick snack, because it's going to be a deep one. We're going deep, diving down into the book world of the things that I read. Now, I consider the fall months to be September, October, November. Now, with stipulation, November is kind of an in-between month. Fall is a fairly short season for me. But in that month, I read 26 books, 13 e-arcs, 12 physical books. So let's go ahead. Let's deep dive on into what we're going with, obviously starting in September. The first book I read was on my Kindle, and it is, of course, My Return to the Walter Boys. This was the peak of my life with the Walter Boys, season 2 coming out, which, full transparency, I still haven't watched because, to be fair, the book I didn't love. I think what happened was, so I gave this a 3-star because I still love the world that we live in. But to be fair, I think coming out with book 2 so many years later, it's hard to come back into that world. It's hard to come back into it and really keep the magic that we felt in the first book. This one also just felt a lot more grovelly. I felt like Cole, the entire book, was just kind of groveling through things. And so I just really miss the Cole Walter effect. I miss my little hot shot, he knows what he wants, he knows how to get it kind of thing. So it was disappointing. We got a 3-star read to start out our fall reading. Up next, we read our first e-arc of the fall season. It was We Met Like This by Casey West. So of course, thank you so much to Nat Galley and to St. Martin's Press for allowing me to read the e-arc. Now, this is Casey West's first adult book. She typically does a lot of YA, and this is the Casey West that I remember loving her YA stuff so much, because this book was a solid 4 stars, absolutely adorable. I devoured it. It was so sweet. Margot and Oliver are two they're an app kind of people. They be scrolling, they be swiping, they be doing the things on the phones to meet the people. And over the course of, I think maybe a decade even, 5 years, 3 years, I don't remember for sure the time frame, but they keep finding somebody, they'll delete the app, they'll reinstall the app, and they end up matching again. And so they keep going through this iteration of continuing to match and kind of stay in each other's atmospheres of hey, you found your person yet? Nope, here I am again. That kind of thing. So they become friends and kind of start to okay, then let's decide now what we can do to help each other. What are we doing wrong on these apps? And it goes from there, and it's absolutely adorable. This was a solid 4-star read, and I love Casey West's adult writing. Then we got into our first physical book of fall. We started the Inheritance Games. I really am enjoying this, I think. I gave this 3.5, but I did round up to 4 stars because this feels like a really good setup book. I'm really intrigued to see how the world goes. It is a YA kind of mystery book, I guess, is the best way to say it, with a little bit of fantasy touches. I don't know. This genre is a really hard genre for me to define right now because I'm so new at finding them. There are 8 or 9 books, because she continues to come out with them, books in the Inheritance Games world. But what I love about this that I think almost kind of adds to the mystery element of this is it's very plug and play. I believe there are 3 books to the main trilogy. And then there are prequels and there are side books following some of our other characters in an entirely different storyline. And so I think that really makes this series extra fun because you can kind of build or expand the world however you want to. So Inheritance Games, this was a 3.5-star book, and I'm really excited to continue on the series because I want to know how this set up so much more in the series. It's it's a YA, but it's also the mystery, family drama, money, games, puzzles, and you find yourself wanting to keep reading, and I enjoyed it. Avery was so, I really loved her character, and I don't know why, because to be honest, I expected to get really annoyed with her, but I didn't. I just enjoyed reading about her, and like all the brothers is gonna be a fun dynamic in this. So highly recommend. This was a fun read. Then we did flip-flop over to a Christmas book really quick because I got it on NetGalley. So thank you so much to NetGalley and to Penguin Group for allowing me to read the e-arc of Christmas at the Ranch by Julie McKay. This was like a 3.5, gonna round it up to 4. I think I would have enjoyed it like as a solid 4-star if it were actually like Christmas when I was trying to read it and not September. This was like a fun, they come back together, they spend a Christmas together as teens, and now as adults, like they manage to find their way back to each other at a cowboy ranch. And it's the perfect, like, it's everything you want in a little cowboy romance while also having like the fun wintry vibes of a Christmas small town Hallmark movie kind of thing. It was absolutely adorable. The only thing that I think didn't bump this up more for me was the fact that like it's told as a dual timeline because of these like diary entries that she finds. And to be honest, the diary entries didn't feel connected to the main story like I wanted them to be, or they just felt like a little too long. I don't know. Either way, they just felt a little too disconnected to the main story for me to like, I kind of wish I didn't want them as much. I skimmed through them a lot. Like I wasn't as engrossed in them as I was the rest of the story, like just the main story itself. Julie McKay is absolutely going to be a new Christmas author for me though, because this was just, it was absolutely adorable, which is good because the next book was an absolute clunker. This was Some Kind of Famous by Ava Wilder. Again, another e-arc that I did get to tear through for the most part. Thank you so much to NetGalley and Random House Publishing for allowing me to read the e-arc of it. I made it 90% through this book, 90%, and then DNF'd. And to be completely honest, I couldn't tell you what it's about anymore. It's a good thing I have my Goodreads to like remind me. I'll put a time code if you don't want to know what happens. You don't want the spoiler, but I'm gonna spoil it. At 90% into this book is the freaking pregnancy trope, the accidental pregnancy. I can't stand it. There was so much more going on in this book that was so dumb. It did not add anything to the storyline, so why are we still doing it? Especially at 90%. I don't know. I also just didn't like most of the people in this book. I do remember like the way she was described as being sharp. I'm just picturing like a Disney villain. I don't know. And then like her sister was just mean. She didn't really have a connection with the main guy. I don't know. I didn't like any of it. It wasn't for me. I DNF'd at 90, and that's where we're gonna leave that. Then if you've been following, you know that I kind of have a rough up and down love-hate relationship with the We Were Liars trilogy. Going to be trilogy. I think it's out now. Yeah, it just came out. So We Were Liars, really enjoyed. I was like, yes, thank goodness. Family of Liars, I was like, no, this is dumb. Don't like it. But then I got the e-arc of We Fell Apart because I was like, okay, I'm already so far into this. I'm gonna finish these books. I'm just going to. We Fell Apart. This was back to what I remembered loving about We Were Liars. I gave it a like 3.5, 3.75, but I just couldn't round it up to that full 4-star. So on Goodreads, I did bump it back down. I did get to read it as an e-arc again. So thanks to NetGalley and Random House Children's Books for allowing me to read it. As always, I super appreciate getting to read some of these books early. It's so much fun. It had the same vibes as We Were Liars in that the whole time you just felt something was wrong and you don't know what it is. And I don't know. I think these are more considered like mystery books. Goodreads calls them mystery thrillers. But I don't know that thriller necessarily, like, I don't like that characterization because nothing in it was like scary. I think I'm starting to really enjoy a good mystery book in the YA genre, at least for now. I haven't read a good mystery book as an adult. I haven't read a mystery book as an adult, so I don't know, but I've started to read quite a few as like the Inheritance Games and We Fell Apart were like, you just can tell there's something more going on. And We Fell Apart was like what I wanted Family of Liars to be as well. Because like it's so good compared to We Were Liars. Like it held up finally. Now We Fell Apart follows a different family across the river or across the lake from the original We Were Liars family. I can't even think of their names right now, the family's names, but it's an entirely different like subset. So there's like some crossover because they like live close to each other. but I love that that's like as close as we're getting to the connection. So it kind of really has its own world and its own thing. It's kind of how the other side lives and all this stuff. And so like, I really, really enjoyed it. The only thing that still bothers me about these books, so much of it just falls really flat in the storyline and stays really surface level. They have such an opportunity to really dive into some of these storylines and make them like so like involved and detailed and like gut-wrenching, and they just don't for some reason. It just feels very surface level, but I did enjoy the twist enough to make it worth it, and it did really stay true to what I really love in an E-Lockhart book. So like I said in the beginning, we had a pretty like big month for arcs and e-arcs in the fall reading extravaganza. So we continued on with the Fangirl Project by Beth Reekles. If you know, she's the one that did the Kissing Booth, that same author. So it's a YA, contemporary, romancy, whatever. This one's really cute though, because like being a self-proclaimed like nerd and like surprised to nobody myself, this was a really fun like premise to have somebody that like doesn't really know how to fit in and like tries to be popular, tries to be like extra nerdy, and just ends up kind of being herself. That was super fun. And then also having it be like best friend's best friend kind of trope, while also like there was a lot of little like back and forths on this that like kind of gave me a few curveballs for just like a romance, and I really enjoyed it. It was very cute. This was an absolute 3.5 star read. Thank you so much to Random House and NetGalley for allowing me to read it. So basically, Sari is trying to keep her secret crush and best friend Jake around. Like, they were friends forever. He's moving to a new college, so she's like trying to keep him in her orbit. And in order to do so, she's like, I'm going to say that I am the like hugest fangirl of the same things that he's a fan of. He brings in a new friend that he's like, well, he's a big fan of this too, so like we should all do this together. And she's like, well, no, I wanted to use this as a way to spend time with you. And like that whole dynamic there. But then there's also this subplot of her like figuring out how to and wanting to be popular. And at the end, I mean, obviously she just realizes that like she can be herself, and like everybody likes her, and everybody has a little bit of like, it doesn't have to be so strict about things. And so like I really related to the main character. I loved her as a character. I loved the side characters in this. 3.5 stars. It was just a lot of fun. Then after that, we read 2 physical books. Look at us on a roll with the physicals. And one of which was actually a nonfiction, which, thank you. I try really hard to read at least a nonfiction book along with all of my other stuff, and I've been doing, honestly, a really bad job of it. So this is Live, Learn, Love Well. Lessons from a Life of Progress, Not to Perfection, by our Peloton instructor, Emma Lovewell. This was a really shorty little read, so it bothers me that it took so long for me to get through. But nonetheless, you guys know the drill. I rate all nonfiction 5 stars because if somebody is either knowledgeable enough to write a nonfiction book or brave enough to write their own story, I'm not going to discredit that, and giving it 5 stars increases the chance to get it into the right audience. At least that's my view on it. So this is a 5-star book. I don't really rate or review them. I just enjoy consuming nonfiction when I can. Then after that, we jumped into a fantasy with Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry. Now this was a 4-star read. Probably like, I may go back and bump this up to a 5-star. This was like a 4.5. This was wonderful. 4.75 even. I loved the heck out of this book. I know a lot of people like had a hard time because it is basically just a book about a journey. It's a book about a journey. It's not really like, there's not super plot heavy. You're learning a lot of things. Now that being said, I think you need to learn a lot of things because book 2, I don't know if this is going to be a duology or how many books are going to be in the series, but you can tell you're building things up. You're learning a map as she's learning a map. You're like, there's so much of this that you're learning with her that I think it has to be this. I think it has to be this much of an additional like journey book and not as like huge, dynamic, plot heavy, whatever, so that you can get to the next book. So I love this. Ate it up. Nom nom. Nice little snack. Snack it. Gorge. Love it. This is just like, yeah, I'm so ready. I'm so ready for the next book. Then we bebopped over to another e-arc. This was Not You Again by Erin LaRosa. So thank you so much to NetGalley and to Harlequin Trade Publishing for allowing me to read it. This was a surprisingly really fun read. So I'm giving it like a 3.75, but I'm easily rounding it up to a 4. So that's just like, it was really caught me off guard. I was expecting a 3-star. I was expecting a like cutesy goofy little time that I probably wouldn't remember after reading it, but like I actually still actively think about this book frequently. It is essentially Carly and her town in, I think, Denver. No, her town in Colorado get caught in a time loop, a day after day recycle Groundhog's Day type time loop. And they all know that they're in the time loop. So they know that things reset. So it starts to cause a little bit of havoc and starts to cause a little bit of chaos. And like, they're like, okay, well, how do I get out of this time loop? Because people like Carly, who's dealing with the death of her dad, she like regenerates every day at the funeral of her father. Tough. But then she also starts her day in the funeral director, Adam, who is literally like getting rid of his, like accepting the separation of his wife from his wife, separation from his wife, like getting a divorce. So people like them are like, I want to figure out how to get out of this. And they kind of decide to band together. Adam is like very like by the book science driven. Carly's very like vibes, but like the vibes, but like the vibes. So absolutely adorable read. And like, I love that they took so much time to like see each other's perspectives too. I thought was really like unique and interesting. So this was just like, it was a good time. It was a good time. Good, silly, goofy little time. Then friends, I met Kai Rhodes. I don't think there is a single bad sentence in this entire book. I don't think there is a bad sentence in this entire book. Kai and Max and Miller and the M's and the cookies and the, my whole entire heart with this freaking book. Single dad, nanny, coach's daughter. I don't know what I'm going to do when I finish that series. Because I just... Up next, we read another e-arc. Now this was weird because I read this and I was like, wait a minute, this isn't a new book. It was published in 2016. It was on NetGalley because it's getting a little facelift. It's getting a new cover and we love that for it because it was really cute. And I think it deserves a little bit more of like a, needs a revamp. Let's get it off the shelves a little bit more. Casey West is back with another YA. In this case, it was P.S. I Like You. And this was like 3.5 stars. 3.5 star vibes because it was like, yes, it was YA, but Cade and Lily are like the perfect opposites attract couple. They are what I think of when I think of like YA opposites attract in high school, like bully, quirky, you know, that kind of vibe. And like, it gives like better than the movies kind of vibes, but like a couple tiers down because like I think that book is absolutely elite. Better than the movies is like such top tier. But it was cute. And like, don't get me wrong, it still really felt YA, which I just think I'm like starting to like not be into as much. But like, I love that they were going through things that high schoolers go through. It didn't feel like it was trying to read up or reach down or pull up or whatever. It was cute. It was just cute and I enjoyed it. And I loved Kate. I loved Lil. It was fantastic. It was good. It was cute. It was a cute little read. Then heading into October, my first read of the month, we finished up the Maple Hills trilogy with Daydream. I think Daydream might be my, I'm not going to say it's my favorite one, but it's a really close second. Like 1A, 1B type flip-floppy situation with Icebreaker. Wildfire, I did not enjoy as much. But I love the whole trilogy. So this was another 5-star read. This was another 5-star fantastic read. My little neurospicy Henry and his sweet little Hallie. I don't know what I'm gonna do when I get through. Like, obviously I'm done with this now. I'm gonna get through these really quick. What am I gonna do when there's no just cutesy little books like this? What am I gonna do when there's always going to be something. There's always going to be more. What am I even saying? Go read that. Go read the whole trilogy. They're fantastic. I loved them oh so very much. And then we just kept the ball rolling with good books with another e-arc. Catching on to the trend. I try really hard to read an e-arc and a physical book back and forth, so I'm kind of like, going back. So this one does not come out till March of 26. I apologize, but it is the Starter X by Mia Sosa. Mia Sosa is the same one that did When Javi Dumped Mari. I have not read that, but I'm going to go back and read it now because this was like a 3.75 but I did round up because it was just cute. So thank you so much to NetGalley and JP Putnam Sons for allowing me to read the e-arc. Obviously, when I do read an e-arc, it is in exchange for my own personal opinions. Nothing, we're not getting paid for opinions up in here. Basically, the starter X, Vanessa is always in high school, was paid to be the girlfriend that helped the person realize that the other person, like that the person was paying her, was the love of their life. So she was the starter X. She was the one that was the opposite of what the person that came to her was, so that the guy that the person liked would be like, I don't like her, I want her, creating that dynamic. She was encouraging couples along, if you will. And she gets actually involved with her sister. Somebody outs her, was like, hey, you did this for me and it's working so well. And her sister's like, well, will you do it for me? Because there's this guy that I like. And she's like, no, that's a terrible idea. And what do you know? It was a terrible idea. It was cute. This was such a good book. It was just great. And Jason, I loved Jason. I wouldn't, this was one of those that I don't know what trope for sure I would give it, because they were both kind of grumpy and sunshine, and I don't know if they were necessarily really opposites attract. They were just kind of different. I don't know. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Then we had another physical book in the form of The 1000th Floor by Catherine McGee. This is a series, and I will not be continuing. This was 2 stars. It had a good premise. I wanted to like it. It was meant to be a futuristic Gossip Girl. Cool, I can get behind that. But the problem is, I think it was too futuristic that I got lost a lot. The glitz wasn't really glitzy, shimmery enough to be Gossip Girl for me, but the futuristic elements were so far advanced and out of this realm that I couldn't follow what we were talking about most of the time. And the story was interesting, and I did really enjoy the characters, but there was so much around the world building that just took me out of it so much that I am not going to continue this with a heavy 2 stars. After the 1000th Floor, we got back into an e-arc, again, the back and forth. We just know it, we love it, here we go. Lizzie Dent, Drive Me Crazy. This one comes out in January, so it's coming, it's close. This was my first F1 race car type romance, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. 4 stars. Thank you so much to NetGalley and Putnam Publishing. It's powerhouse. It's second chance. It's a little bit enemies to lovers, but not really. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved how neither one of them stooped down for the other, and all they did for the whole book was cheer each other on and share successes. It was fantastic. A little bit of a forbidden romance vibes, because the female main character is the new manager for the team. I'm still kind of learning all the jargon and stuff. And then the male main character is the primary driver. So forbidden romance. It was adorbs. Fantastic. 4 stars. And then this might be my favorite romance of 2025. What? Maybe. Oh, but I read such good I read such good Abby Jimenez this year too. I also have all of them at Windy City series. Oh, there's been some such good romances this year. But this was everything that I knew I needed, I didn't know I needed, and more. This was a 5-star. Aiden Valentine is probably my new favorite book boyfriend. I don't know. All I know is this was fantastic. Coming from the news, TV, radio, the biz type world, having the radio atmosphere in here was just to die for. I simply could not handle this book. It was so cute. And Lucy, the way that she interacted with her team at the car body shop and her daughter, and I just not taking care of herself, and but she's also super independent, and she just doesn't have a bad bone in her body, and I just love her. This was so cute. And I loved all the nods to radio. It just really I understand that it's Sleepless in Seattle. I get that. That's totally fine with me, because this is yep, fantastic. And then I read actually another physical book. What? Soul Searching by Lila Sage. Okay, I have all of Lila Sage's other books. I have the whole Done and Dusted, Lost and Lassoed. I have all of them. I just haven't read them yet. And this made sure that I will be reading it post haste. I will be reading the next one's post haste because this was a like wonderful, like 4.5 stars even. It was so cute. And I was so nervous. I was nervous because like I don't do spooky little things. I don't do spooky little ghosties. But like, it was cute. It was so cute. I loved Collins. I loved Brady. Collins is such a badass and like, but also kind of sweet. And like, Brady is just he's super sweet, but kind of a badass. So they're just like opposite sides of the same coin. And they worked so well together that it was just heartwarming. I don't know. The only reason this didn't also get 5 stars is because I feel like we had some pretty major plot points that just kind of got forgotten until like the last like 20 pages. And I was like, oh, I forgot that is kind of what we were doing here, wasn't it? Which, I mean, cool. It didn't really detract from the book. It's just the only reason that I can't quite give it 5 stars. You understand. Honestly, one of my top authors for most read books for 2025 is probably going to be Casey West because she has another freaking banger of an adult novel coming out in April, and it is Stranger Things Have Happened. It was absolutely 4 stars books. Thank you so much to Nat Galley for allowing me to read the e-arc of this. I can't. It was like, it's Nat Galley and Saturday Books. So thank you to Saturday Books as well. I'm loving her adult writing. I am, because it's like, so basically Sutton has to move back home for her mom, who is like kind of struggling with some health issues, and she runs into her high school best friend Tara. Tara's getting married to Michael. Michael's brother is Elijah. Cool. So best friends, fiance's best friend, brother. And like they start talking about therapy, and she gets thrown into a bet that that Sutton thinks that a therapist would 100% be able to tell that if her and Elijah went to therapy, that they were not actually getting married. And Elijah's like, I bet they would not be able to tell. And it goes from there, and it's just such a fun premise, but it also, because of the dynamic like with her mom and everything, really like adds such a layer of deepness to this book that like I'm loving Casey West getting to dive into more deeper topics on an adult level instead of kind of like playing down a YA. So it's absolutely phenomenal. 4-star read for sure. Then I went on vacation and did a little bit of reading because I borrowed a couple books from a friend that she gave to me, and she's like, Lauren, you're going to love these. And I was like, say less. And she's like, they're cowboy romances. And I'm like, no, you already had me. And she goes, no, they follow like one ranch and there's like 5 of them. And I was like, honey, I'm sold, let's do it. So she only had the first 2, so I brought the first 2, read them, devoured them, and then promptly bought them. The only problem is that the US version only has the ones with the people on the cover, and we know how we feel about that. So I went to Waterstones. That's what it is. I went to Waterstones, got the editions, got her the rest of the series that's out right now. We pre-ordered, like we did all the things at Waterstones because look how gorgeous these covers are. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. This is the Wells Ranch series. It starts off with Alive and Wells, and this was the perfect start to a book. This is the kind of couple that I want to see do amazing things in every single book after. I need more of them so much, but I don't like their story wraps up so well that I think this is really what makes it the perfect first couple, because I want to see glimpses of them. I want to see them still happy together because that's what they deserve. So like Alive and Wells follows Cicely and Austin. Austin is the one on the farm. He's closed off. He's like the main rancher of them. And Cicely's kind of running from some shit. So like this is a deep book. I would definitely check your trigger warnings before you dive into this. But for me, absolute 5 stars. Absolute 5 stars. This was so cute. And like, they're also just pretty quick reads, which is really nice because I just really tore through them. They read really easily. I don't remember the last time, I say that knowing very well that Soul Searching and First Time Caller were this way too, but there's something about a book that like you just get lost, and like you start page 1 and all of a sudden you're at page 100 and you're like, I don't know how we got here. That's the kind of stuff that I just adore. Absolute 5 stars. Absolute 5 stars. And I quickly got into Seeing Red. Now this one says it on the back, so I will say this is an accidental pregnancy, but it's an accidental pregnancy of like page 1. So like at first she warned me too. She's like, I know this is the thing that you don't like, but just try it because it's so good. And I was like, yeah, I will try it for you, obviously. And I think my thing with accidental pregnancy is not if it exists at all in a book. I just don't like it as a third act surprise. I don't want it in any of my third act. I want it to be part of like the whole plot line, because this, you get 36 weeks of them together and like falling in love and just all these things that was so sweet. This was really good. Yeah, no, this was another 5 stars. Again, for these though, I will say there are some really dark themes, so please check your trigger warnings before you read them. But if you like, do also check them out because they're so good. Like the end of October, I've had some fantastic reading. I just want to get that out there now because like I got into those, and then the very end of October, I was like, well, I need a fall read. I've kind of been slacking on like, I've kind of gotten into more fantasy, which I enjoy, but like I need an actual fall read, please, now. And so I dove into If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia. Like, here's the thing. This book takes place in 1997 in a small town in Vermont. I understand that like it very much is trying to be Gilmore Girls. But that being said, it doesn't. It succeeds, and it's everything I want. It's cozy little blanket with a warm tea in your fuzzy little socks, curled up by the fireplace when the leaves are falling down outside, and it's just like fresh bread in the oven with a little candle burning, and I just can't. I adored this book. It was 500 pages, and I dove in. I was like, shoot, why does it gotta be 500 pages? And then I was like, oh, I get it, and I don't mind because it's perfect. And so yeah, 5 stars, absolutely phenomenal. Then we got back into another arc for our first read of November, so we are coming to an end, slowly but surely. We're getting there. How's your bevy? Do you need to pause? Go refill the bevy, refill the snacks? That's fine, I'll wait. Did you get your snack? We're good? Okay, we only got a couple more, so bear with me. Lila Lee, The Cuffing Game. This came out in November, middle of November, and like this was a perfect kind of like start to my winter reads because it's just a smile. It is a 3-star book. This book is just a smile. It's a 2.5 rounded up to a 3. It's really a nothing book, but I say that with the most love ever because so thank you so much to NetGalley and HarperCollins for allowing me to read the e-arc, because I just want to preface that a 2.5 star is not bad. It's the middle. It's the definition of a book, and it's just a smile. It's a warm hug of a book, and I'm so okay with that. So Mia has a crush, and instead of interacting with that crush, she creates an entire TV show around crushes, which if that doesn't sound like me coded, oh my gosh, I don't know what does. Instead of addressing the problem, I'm just gonna go do this other thing way over here to distract me from all the things. Okay, cool, yeah. And the thing is though, is Mia feels like a freshman, and I love that. I love that kind of unsurety, because she doesn't really know what's going on in college yet, and the level of nostalgia that I also had, because since they're making a TV show, it's really in the broadcasting realm, which obviously I am pretty heavily in, and so it was just all of it kind of really wrapped up in such a warm place that I loved it. To be fair, I don't know that this is anything that a couple months from now I'll even think about, hence the kind of 2.5 star. There wasn't a whole lot deeper, there was, but they don't really touch on it, and so it's just a smile of a book, and that's more than okay. And it was a fun read. It was a good time, happy goofy little time, fantastic. Then we did do another e-arc. I'm sorry, I've been reading a lot on my Kindle, which means it's a lot of ebooks and a lot of e-arcs. So thank you so much to NetGalley as always, and to Harley Quinn Publishing for allowing me to read The Honeymoon Phase by Amy Dawes. This is actually book 3 in the Mountain Men Matchmaker series. Now, the first one's 9-month contract. Everybody has talked a lot about that one. It has a 4.02 on Goodreads. 7 Year Itch is the second one, and it has a 3.9. So, just as good. I know people don't like 7 Year Itch as much, but the 9-month contract, I know that one kind of really blew up on TikTok. And so, I was sure, I'll try it, and it's an interconnected standalone, so I don't really have any problem, picking up this one and then going back and reading the others, because this one takes part a lot more over Christmas, and, it all leads up to Christmas, so I was perfect time to read it. And I was literally just expecting, a cutesy little 3-star, a silly, goofy little mood, a little romance, a little winter, fantastic, love that. Please tell me why I was sobbing through this book. sobbing. There was so much at the end of this book that I was just like dying over. And I adore Addison and Luke. Like, I just can't even, I cannot get over the, like, it's friends to lovers, and like, it's not really forbidden romance, but his dad doesn't really like him and like his brothers and stuff. But like, there was something just so unbelievably pure and relatable about falling for your best friend. And the fact that Luke was so unwavering in his love for Addison and the way that he would stand up for her. And like, this book completely came out of left field for me in the best way possible. It was adorable. So, I mean, honeymoon phase, it's a marriage of convenience for Addison so she can take over her family's lumber farm. And Luke, being oh so helplessly in love with her, is like, hey, let me marry you. And she's like, I can't let my friend do that. And he's like, no, let me marry you. And so she does, and it goes from there. And I just, obviously this is the third book in a series. So like, I could sit here and like, obviously I love all the side characters. Duh, they get their own books. And so like, we know I love a side character. And so like, I love the whole family and all of it. And it was just all, yep. That was a 5-star. That was a 5-star that just completely blew me away. And I don't know how it just works. It just works. It worked. Okay. That's all I can keep saying. 2 left. We got one more e-arc, one more physical book. Okay, here we go. E-arc. This is the last Casey West that I have read. I don't think this will be the last for the year. Yeah, I don't think it'll be the last for the year. Anyway, okay, so this is Room to Breathe. It comes out in January. It is back to another YA for her. And I don't know, I should look at like some of her publication dates, because I definitely am sensing that her coming back into kind of the adult writing and like entering the adult writing is really enhancing a lot of her YA writing as well. Because this one's like a whole new series. This is not one that has come out before. And I really enjoyed this. So like, the YA that she wrote when I was in like high school and like early college and stuff, reading that now is kind of cringe for me, but reading this as a YA, I'm really enjoying. So I don't know if she's kind of like evolving and like helping and writing I don't know if writing adult is kind of helping her YA or what, but like, I'm really enjoying it. This was like a 3.75 almost even. 3.5, 3.75. I'm just rounding it down, because it doesn't hit that 4-star for me. Because, so basically what it is Indy and Bo used to be besties. They had a falling out. They no longer even speak. And so from there, they get stuck in a bathroom overnight. The teacher's lounge bathroom, for different reasons. They're stuck in there. And this show, the book reminds me of the show Never Have I Ever on Netflix, because it's like they're now academic rivals, but they were like kind of always friends, and then it kind of turns into a little bit more, and it's adorable. It also had a lot of really deep stuff behind it that I wasn't really expecting, but that's also why I don't think I could give it a full 5 stars. Partly I wanted it to be dual POV. There was so much that Indy was thinking that it made Bo feel a little bit flat, that we didn't know why he was responding or how he was responding the way that he was. And so that kind of fell a little bit flat for me. And they were trapped in a bathroom. They could have talked about things, I think, a little bit more fleshed out than just like the quick conversation that seemed to happen with them. So that's why it didn't quite get a 5-star for me. At the end of this book, there's also this moment where she gets to also kind of come back to all of her other friends. And I adored the way this was handled. She was so worried about what her friends would think, and she got them little gifts as kind of like olive branches, and she comes up and she's so nervous about it. And they're like, yeah, you know what? It's water under the bridge. And I love that feeling. Like, I don't love it, but I think we can all relate to that feeling of like, you know what? I'm just tired of fighting. I want my friend back. I miss my friend more than whatever we were fighting about is worth. And so like, that just really got to me and like really spoke so beautifully in something that like, I don't think we see a lot. I think a lot of times when friends make up in books, it either is like this whole big falling out and they come back together, or it's this like, well, I was never mad at you in the first place. Hee. Like, no, like they just have this moment where it's like, you know, I'm just tired of fighting. And I loved that so much. That was the last e-arc, and then we have one last hardback, which unfortunately I wish we could end this on a higher note, but unfortunately we are not going to. Tonight the Streets Are Ours. This was a 1-star read. I don't know why I finished this book. The entire time I was reading it, I don't know why I finished it. Arden drove me freaking crazy. She's supposed to be in high school, and yet she read like a 5th grader. Peter creeped me out the entire time, even after we met him and we knew that he was actually who he says he was on this blog thing. Creeped me out the entire time. Her friend, I don't even remember her friend. I don't remember her name. I don't care. Was not kind. It was just a hot mess to be a hot mess. I don't know. I couldn't. It was a 1-star and I couldn't do it. So there you have it. We read 26 books for our fall reading. And to be fair, even though we are chopping this off in the middle of November, I've already transitioned to winter books. So just getting to add a little bit of extra wintry book flair onto the winter wrap up next sounds good to me. So thank you so much again for watching. If you stayed this far, if you had the snack refill, put a popcorn emoji down in the comments below to let me know that you stuck around this long, because it is so appreciated. And then of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the little bell so you never miss another one. We have some big things coming in 2026. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching.